Hey guys, what's up? It's Katy and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video, and today I want to talk about arenas and arena grinding and some of the problems that are associated with it. So with the Hercules arena, we saw astronomically high scores, right? And then same with the Strife Basic arena, there were some really high scores in that arena. And so I decided to, following those, I decided to put out a tweet and put out a poll on both Twitter and YouTube and see what you guys thought were the main problems with Arena. And I made the choices be Mercs, bots, and death matches. And I wanted to see what you guys thought were the main problems with Arena. So let's take a look at some of the things that you guys think are the problems with it. I'll give you my opinions on it and let's see how we can fix it. So let's first start with Twitter. So Mercs, bots, and a small cutoff for the 6-star. I love the introduction of being able to get 6-star champs in theory, but trying to compete against people who are willing to drop way too much money to get the blue border makes me shy away from it. And that is very true. Grinding for a 6-star champ in the featured arena can be draining. It can be life and soul sucking. I mean, you name it, and that's kind of how crappy you're gonna feel. It's no longer about even having a massive roster. It's about who is willing to spend the most units on refreshes. It doesn't matter if it's basic or featured. If the champ is a desirable champ, people will spend ridiculous amounts of units to get them. And that's exactly true, right? If that champion checks 3 out of the 4 boxes, so, you know, you've got damage, you've got suicide friendly, you've got prestige, or you've got utility. If they check a majority of those boxes, that champion is going to go high. And then what else do we got? Let's see. Because of bots and Mercs, I had to put more points in Arena. I used to do 25 mil on the featured and 10 mil on the basic for 5k 5-star shards and 1k 6-star shards. Now I have to do 29 million on featured and 15 million on basic. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. The help button. Yeah, let's get away from that. So let's take a look at the YouTube and see. So both YouTube and Twitter, bots won. Most of you think that bots are the main problem here. But let's take a look and see. Let's see. Mercs and bots have been a big problem for a really long time, even outside of Arena. Not everyone can spend 3 days grinding 100 mil for a champ. Yeah, that's very true. I can't. I don't want to. But if Dracula gets added, I probably will. What else do we got? Deathmatch is problematic because after using your top tier champs, they put up against someone maxed out 6 stars. Deathmatches, they are problematic, but they're kind of easy to get around. But we're going to talk about that as well because deathmatches are going to be becoming more prevalent very quickly. So let's continue on. Mercs and bots, who grinds this clown fiesta of a game. That's pretty funny. That's funny. Okay, so the thing is, there are bots and there are Mercs in this arena, and death matches are easy to get around, right? If you figured out the algorithm for Arena, then you figured out how you can stop a death match from occurring. Now, let's talk about this deathmatch thing real quick because I want to touch on that very briefly because it's going to become a real problem really quickly. So we are not far from having a rank 4 6-star. With the end of Summer of Pain and the top spot for War next War season, we're probably going to see the first introductions of rank 4 6-stars. So even though that would only be 30 rank 4 6-stars, let's say, that's still enough to throw off the algorithm, which means death matches will become prevalent once again. So that means we're going to have to figure out the algorithm on how to get around that. Now let's talk about bots and Mercs. I don't usually like to touch base on the whole Merc subject. It's a subject that I don't like. I don't like the Merc aspect of it, but there are things like this in other games as well. You have people boosting accounts in other games and that sort of thing. So that's always going to be there. Now, Kabam is doing a really, really good job at trying to remove them, right? We saw a ban wave happen. They are trying to stay on top of the bots. But the problem is when it comes to bots and it comes to you know, mercs and cheaters and that sort of thing, there's always going to be a back door that they're going to be able to get into. So, you know, Kabam's trying to stay one step ahead of them, but trying to stay one step ahead of a hacker or a cheater or a bot isn't as easy as one may think. So how can we stop this from happening? Well, there's been plenty of suggestions thrown around. There have been kind of ideas tossed around about maybe having a registered device or, you know, face recognition and that sort of thing. But I mean, are you going to want to do face recognition every time you log into your account? Probably not. A primary registered device would be a great way to get around it, right? So say you are going to do a Legends run or you're going to grind for a champion, then maybe like, I don't know, 1 or 2 days before you actually do the grind or do the Legends run or what have you, you register your primary device. That way you can't ship it off to a Merc and the Merc can't use a VPN because they got to use that device. Now you could say 2-step, you know, verification, right? You've got that 2-step authentication. That's not going to work because all you got to do then is just send that 2-step password or PIN or whatever, what have you, to the Merc and he's going to be able to get into it. So I like the idea of a primary registered device. You register that device. Now I play on 2 phones. I have 2 phones. Most people play on a phone and a tablet or that sort of thing. So, you know, whatever device I'm going to be running it on, I just register that device and boom, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, of course, there are ways to get around that, but that's gonna thin the herd a lot. So I like that idea. Now, bots. Bots is a whole different story because you've got kind of the easy bots that Kabam is easy to ban, but then you've got the more complicated bots. So bots is a really tricky way to kind of get around Arena. Now let's talk about the imminent death matches that are going to be occurring relatively quickly. So like I said, we're going to see probably the first rank 4 6-star after Summer of Pain and after the first war season. I was thinking it was probably going to come Cyber Weekend, so in November, but looking at the deals and the rewards for Summer of Pain and then the rewards for, you know, #1 spot in war, it's definitely going to happen. So that's going to throw off the algorithm. And so that means people are going to become more frustrated doing Arena initially when it comes to death matches. So how could Kabam get around that? Well, they could just do away with death matches entirely, right? But then you could potentially have more bots, right? Because the death matches kind of help bots to have to restart their streak. So, you know, having death matches in the game, while at first glance may seem problematic, it's also kind of a blessing in disguise. Okay, so then what? Then what do you do? Well, you could have a warning system, right? When you hit a certain PI, let's say, all right, let's say you hit a certain PI and you have a little warning pop up that says, you have an 85% chance of triggering a deathmatch. You could redo your team, or you could just say, no, I'm going to go in with it. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, right? So that's kind of a good way to, and plus what that does is that allows you to, you know, kind of factor in or figure out the algorithm in a better way, right? So something that worked in the past is not going to work now. But if you have that little warning pop up, then it's like, okay, so if I have an 85% chance, and let's say it pops up once you hit a 75% chance of triggering a death match, right? Let's say 75% chance that warning pops up. Then you know you're getting close to not being able to use the teams that you're using. So I think that would be a really good idea. Another thing that they could do is, and this would also kind of help to alleviate the whole bot thing too, is they could add in kind of like a mini game situation, right? So you have to complete a puzzle or something, and it can be something as easy as match the champ up with their class, right? And so it's an easy champ, right? It's Vision. Well, you know that's tech, right? So and it's anyone who's been playing the game, even for a brief amount of time, is going to know that. So I don't know, every 25 fights, right, you got to match up. So it's going to help alleviate the bot situation as well. Plus it's going to add a little break from the arena, even if it takes a full 5 seconds to do. Any little reprieve is a nice reprieve, at least in my opinion. And then you could then you could have a, sorry about that, you could have some sort of little extra reward added in. I don't know, extra gold or maybe the next arena match, right? The next arena match, you get automatic 1.5 times points for those champions. That would be a nice little way. And I kind of think that might get people to maybe do a little bit more arena. You get a gold boost, you get extra points added for the next match. So that's kind of how I would do it if I were kabam. But anyways, guys, that is all that I got. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think are the main problems with arena? Do you think rank 4 6 stars are going to be problematic, and do you think they're coming as soon as I think they are? How would you fix arena, and do you think kabam is doing all that they can to fix it? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching and enjoy this quick word from Kevin Smith.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith, and if you enjoyed the mediocre Mcoc video full of scrub gameplay, then show Katy some love by hitting like and subscribe, man. Katy don't ask for much. Katy did ask for this. Katy did. So do like Katy did and bug people and get you to like and subscribe, man. She's doing that Mcoc beautifully. Not mediocre. Katy!